Okay, so in this video, I analyze how the war is affecting the US and how is it affecting Iran. Actually, Iran is benefiting from the war, and US is bleeding losses. Okay, so this may be a little longish one. I'll try to make it short. Okay, so now US is now thinking about diverting Ukraine weapons as Iran war drains their arsenal. The Pentagon is reportedly considering redirecting key weapons originally meant for Ukraine to the Middle East conflict following US-Israeli strikes on Iran. Discussions are actively underway, according to officials cited by the Washington Post, and the move could affect air defense system Patriot interceptor missiles, THAAD or Terminal High Altitude Area Defense System, which is called THAAD. These weapons were being supplied to Ukraine under the Prioritized Ukraine Requirement List (PURL), a NATO-backed program funded largely by European nations. Now, war with Iran is burning through US weapons. I just list over 9,000 targets were hit in just 4 weeks. More than 800 Patriot missiles used in 3 days by US allies, estimated around $2 billion per day war cost. Also, over $12 billion was spent in the first 2 weeks only. The Pentagon has now asked the Congress for an additional $200 billion to replenish the stocks. Also, even before the Iran conflict, US production capacity was limited. Lockheed Martin produces around 600 Patriot interceptors annually. Planned increase to 2,000 per year, but scaling will take time. This is a compounding problem actually. A key ANTPY-2 radar, which is critical for THAAD systems, was destroyed in Jordan. The US has only 8 THAAD batteries globally. As a result, already stretched Patriot systems are under even more pressure. Ukraine could lose critical support because of all this. Ukraine's air defense system relies heavily on US and NATO supplies. PURL provides 75% of Patriot missiles used by Ukraine, and European nations have committed to $4 billion to this entire program. However, Washington may divert $750 million from this pool to restock its own military instead. Ukraine has presented a counter offer. It has attempted to offer a solution: supply low-cost interceptor drones, which is around $1,000 to $2,000 each, in exchange for more Patriot missiles. These drones are effective against Iranian-designed Shahid drones, which cost about $30,000, making Patriot use economically inefficient. The proposal was publicly rejected by Donald Trump. Now, the strategic advantage now shifts to Russia. Any reduction in US support comes at a critical moment. Russian missile strikes are at a 4-year high. Russia is reportedly assisting Iran with intelligence, and rising oil prices after Hormuz disruption are boosting Russian revenues. I've actually made videos on these two topics earlier. This creates a dual advantage for Moscow, which is military and economic both. Also, this has global ripple effects. The impact is not limited to Ukraine only. US has already moved THAAD components from South Korea, and South Korea has expressed concern over reduced defense readiness against North Korea. So this leads us to Iran's unexpected economic gains. Despite heavy airstrikes, Iran's economy, especially oil exports, has remained resilient. Oil exports are steady at 1.6 million barrels per day, and earnings rose to around $139 million per day in March. Crude prices have also surged above $100 per barrel. We know that, and Iran is benefiting from number one, reduced competition due to disrupted Gulf exports. Number two, narrowing discount on its crude, lowest in around 1 year. Also, third point, continued exports via Kharg Island and Jask terminal. Additionally, Iran is reportedly charging up to $2 million per ship for transit through the Strait of Hormuz. But peace talks still remain uncertain. Efforts to end conflict have made little progress. US proposed a 15-point deal, which is sanctions relief versus nuclear curbs. Iran rejected the offer and demanded war compensation. Pakistan and Turkey are being considered as possible mediators. What a choice. The US now faces a complex balancing act: sustain a costly war in the Middle East, maintain support for Ukraine, and rebuild depleted weapons stockpile. 3 challenges actually. With limited production capacity and rising global tensions, decisions made now could reshape multiple conflicts and alliances at once.